Anyway, Decades Day. In the 50s. What did people dress up in the 1950s? Any idea?
I've been kind of preparing for it because like last year all I was there was like big outfits, like some Teddy Becker honestly.
Style. Oh, 50s. I like it. I like it. It was made of. Yeah, 50. Okay, that's awesome. Oh, I was talking to the other team. Like, 50s would be the hardest one to think of. What to wear. But you're not gonna help. So, 1950s. Okay. Yeah, you got what little long skirt, top, and everything. Why can't we get one of this? One of those top? Jacket. Come on. Where's the tie? Where's the tie? Okay. Anyway, for the teachers, it's 90s. So I am wearing my 90s attire here. You got your graphic t-shirt, flannel, jeans, boots, and the rolled up jeans. This is style right here. Not that I really know much of the 90s because I was born in the 90s, but not a whole lot. So, and I got my 90s music playing for everybody. So I hope you enjoy some Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, I love Smashing Pumpkins.
There. But, yeah. Jackie, you can be in the 90s. Cake. The band. Oh, do you even listen to them? Or you just have the sweatshirt? It's a band. Just epic start in the late 90s. You could be a teacher right now. When your 90s attire. Your graphic tee of a band. Got it. Nobody else? Tomorrow, we're blue. We're talking stuff. Otherwise for us, yesterday, we started out taking a practice quiz on something.
Good morning, Titans, and happy 4th day of homecoming. Today's spirit theme is Throwback Thursday. Tomorrow is the day of the homecoming. So wear your current spirits. Thanks to all who joined us at the Tailgate Olympics last night, and we are excited to hear our winners tomorrow at the Pep Fest. A few reminders. This Saturday is the Tartan Glow's homecoming dance, so buy your tickets online or at lunch. Tickets will also be available for purchase at the dance. Cover Club is next Wednesday, the 21st. You can still sign up by picking up and dropping off forms to room 017, 205, or the table in the lunchroom. It's been a great week so far. Let's keep it up and see that school spirit. Let's go, Titans! Yeah, let's
go! So, yeah, Spirit Week, Homecoming Week. Everybody should have some sort of spirits. Things are usually better, like you're actually engaging in whatever those things are. So, some classes would be like, oh, this is boring, I want to do it. But it's like, if you do the activity or whatever it is, it's probably a little better than you think. Except maybe like math and practice. That can get boring after a while. But same thing with like school. If you are engaged and you're going to events, you're dressing up, you're going to the Olympics. I'm going to do the Tailgate Olympics yesterday. No. Come on, give it a try. We got to play yard games like like cornhole. You throw the little bag of corn or corn kernels in a box, or ball and string toss, where you're trying to get it on like the different lines. There's a third game. The more things you do and are involved with, the better your experience will be. So whether it's like small things like homecoming week and other things, or if it's larger like joining groups, clubs, activities, athletics, like it will make things more enjoyable because you're actually remembering different aspects. No, it's more, I just mark things different. But you can have the sunglasses on. You can take those off. So the more you are engaged and involved in various aspects, the better your experience is going to be with everything Just so you're all aware. Sorry, now I'm actually. Okay. So with that being said, the more you're involved, the more you're engaged, the better you will experience and like and learn a few things. So yesterday we started with a little quiz on what? The what and what?
Continents and oceans and stuff.
The continents and oceans. The goal was, after a while, get at least 100%, and then do it, see how fast you could get 100% in. Wasn't fast in this class, 15 seconds. Right. I erased it. Yeah, you can't see that there. I erased it. In my second hour, anybody know, this is a good thing, anyone know
I can see it.
Michael Grandstaff? No. He had in 12 seconds and tied me. I tried again, so I got to 12, and he got 12. So we tied, and we had a duel. We versed him. We tied again. He almost beat the teacher, but we tied. He was as good as the teacher in that aspect. So the reason we did that is because you are going to have a quiz on that. Your first summative, it's kind of a smaller summative. First summative will be on the continents and oceans. Thank you. And it will be given to you on Monday. So it's like, yes, Monday quiz, right? Are you excited for those quizzes?
I love Monday quizzes. Makes Monday better.
So you're gonna have that on Monday. But then otherwise, keep studying. I'll keep posting it in Schoology, where it's like Continents and Oceans quiz link. You can find it. I'm studying. But if you get it, those that get it, get it. Those that don't, no. Right? For Continents and Oceans. And I'm referencing TikTok. I know. I get it. I know. So with that, we'll be moving forward because we did Continents and Oceans quiz, and then right after that, we started to learn about the reference and thematic maps of your head and country. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
We have another part here. I do have a little assignment, but what I want to do is I want to not do the assignment. It feels like it's just more stuff and it doesn't make it as enjoyable. But we're going to start learning about, so if you're someone typing, it's like, I'm going to click and do the assignment because I can. I might just say, we're not going to do it. So I'm going to hide it here. But we're going to start to learn about human-environment interaction. So just by looking at the photo behind this, what do you notice? You can shout it out if you want to. What do you notice in the photo behind the words here? I'm hearing like squeaks, but I don't know if I'm not making words out.
Okay.
What do you see?
I see one half of trees and the other fields.
Half with trees, one half the pictures with hills. Why do you think half of them are just? Oh, what do we got? Was it deforestation? Yes, Otis.
Cut them down.
Deforestation. Adam, you had your hand up. Deforestation. Who or what animal or creature or thing is like causing all the deforestation? We got Sean.
My guess is us humans cut them down.
Humans. Hence, probably the name human environment interaction. What's way?
I would like to argue that it was the pigs.
As much as you'd like to argue that, I'm going to say no. Let's try to get some educational guesses here. So we're going to learn about how humans change the environment or adapt to the environment, and at the same time, how does the environment change for the humans? For this, you don't need to take notes. Just make sure you're like up and listening. Laptops are closed. Or laptops are closed from the corner. So one of our goals for this is to analyze the interconnectedness of the environment and human activities, so including the use of technology, and the impact of one upon the other. So how do humans impact the environment? How does the environment impact humans? So how it's kind of looked at is for human environment interaction is humans can be limited by their environments. Humans are able to adjust to survive to different environments. We'll look at a couple examples. So how can somebody be limited by where they live? Think of Minnesota. How are you limited by being in Minnesota? What can't you do, or what that you maybe wish you could? What do you got, Sean?
Ride a motorcycle in the winter.
Ride a motorcycle in winter. That is one way that the environment impacts us. If anyone knows how to, maybe not ride a motorcycle, but you can just ride a bike, you don't really do it in winter because there's ice and snow and it's just very cold. Can't do that here. That's one way we're impacted by the environment. What else can you do from the environment? Anyone on this side? Riley? Go to the ocean. Yeah, we don't really have oceans in Minnesota. We're kind of landlocked. Granted, closest thing you can is Lake what?
Superior.
Como, but that's a small enough to go. Like Lake Superior, where it'd be like, depending on where you go, Lake Superior, you can't even see across because it's so big.
Yeah.
And you can see it in the summertime, but it's very cold even in the summer. So it's not as fun or enjoyable to swim in Lake Superior, just an FYI. Right?
My grandma has a house up there.
And you're just like, you might like dip your toes in one, it's like, that's about it. I'm not going past my
My
ankles.
sister saved like 2 little kids that were drowning in
Your sister saved little kids that were drowning by the environment?
there because they like shocked. The water like shocked them because they jumped in.
Oh, where you're like so cold, it's like, I don't want to swim. I'm just going to
Yeah,
shower.
they were like 10. And then my sister, we used to be like a competitive swimmer, so she's really good at swimming.
But she saved them. Are the kids okay?
Yeah.
That's good.
Their
That's good
mom
that she
was
saved
like,
them.
no,
What was that?
their mom was there.
Oh, their moms. Yeah, usually moms. Their parents should be around. They're already someone older. So it's good that you saved them. I'm glad that the kids are doing well too. But that's another way, I guess, a human could be impacted by the environment, like certain swimming conditions. Can't do that. This way? What do you got?
I stood waist deep in the water and it was very cold and I stood there for like 10 minutes.
In where? Lake Superior? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, you could do that. It's just very, very cold. So it's not necessarily enjoyable for you to like. I've been to Lake Superior. I never actually swam in it because it is so cold. That's when I was like, a walk in it. It's like, this is all I need. And even in the middle of summer on a super hot day. It's all I need to cool off.
Yep.
So, but humans can be impacted like by the environment. We have to have like extra. Our houses need to be extra insulated because it gets super cold in winter. And we have so much temperature changes, it gets super hot in summer. We can have over 100-degree range from our coldest of colds to hottest of hots in 1 year. And you don't get that in too many places. But otherwise, how are we able to adjust and survive in some environments? What do you wear in winter time?
Different clothing.
Different clothing, like what? Winter gear could be including
Big coat.
Jacket, sweater,
jacket.
snow pants.
Sean, what do you got?
Coat and gloves and
Boots, snow pants, winter hat,
No, we don't need that.
maybe mittens and gloves.
yeah.
So you're always going to adjust. Meanwhile, people who adjust to the very hot weather in like Florida, they're going to wear like shorts like that all the time. Now think about this, or look at this way. See a lot of things here: mountains, kind of like mud and grasslands, water. How could this environment limit humans living? What do you got, Sean? You got your-
There's no trees.
No trees. No trees, maybe no nutrients and no shade.
Yep.
This way, what do you got?
There's some McDonald's within a 50-mile radius.
There's not.
No food.
Look at the image here. Let's try to actually answer things from the image. Okay. How could, so you see the mountains, all the rocks, the water, the land there. How else can that change the environment, or excuse me, how can humans be impacted? I want to hear some new voices. Heard like the same 3 or 4. Some new voices. Grace, How do you think humans might be impacted if they live here? It'd be easy to live there? No, probably not. Where do you think this is? Do you think it's like California or do you think it's like Alaska? It's probably like Alaska. So probably very cold, might be like Alaska, hard to live there. Let's do the second part. How can humans adapt to maybe live in this environment? So what could humans do if you did want to live here? Like if you were forced to live here for like a year, you'd be like, I would never do that. So you got paid money for it before that. You got forced to live here. What would you do to adapt and live in this environment? What's something you need or want to have? Should all sleep here first. Christopher, you awake? If you lived in this environment, what would you need to adapt to this environment, Chris? What would you want? What would you need with you if you had to live here? Like, where the images? Any idea?
Coat.
Probably a coat. Yeah, it's gonna be super cold. Might need a coat. That could be something. Also, you've been waiting patiently. What do you need to live here?
Civilization.
Civilization. So maybe you want others around you. That might be hard to get others around you. Sean.
Well, I would bring like a fishing pole and like maybe some wood and like plant some trees, you know, because like you gotta get like a fire going and maybe some warm stuff. And yeah, because if you have trees, you can like build a house and go fishing and like get food and stuff.
So maybe something so you can fish, you can get some food.
Yeah.
Maybe wood, so and trees. You can plant some trees, get some more wood to build a house. Keep warm by starting to get some fires. That is something. Let's hear something else. Charlie, what would you need as a human to adapt to this environment?
A house.
A house. You said house. Is there something else you can think of?
Like a tent.
Maybe a tent. So some sort of shelter.
Mhm.
It's kind of barren over there. There's not a whole lot, right? There's not a whole lot. Okay. What about this one? Or excuse me, sorry, not this one. You can see there are people who do live in this environment. There are people here. Like many times you've heard about different native groups and indigenous groups, and you've heard of like the Inuit. They're like northern Canada and northern Alaska. They will live in this environment. So you can see Sean mentioned fishing stuff, so it looks like they have some sort of fishing stuff. They have boats as well. Jackets, very warm clothing. What do you think like the jackets and stuff are made out of?
Sheep, polar bear, or maybe some animal that lives there.
But different like furry animals
Yeah.
with very thick coats to keep them warm. You see they got like gloves and mittens. They were probably just hunting something in order to survive. So
Yeah.
see there's like blood there. Some people are like, oh no, they just killed someone. It's like, yes, they did, and it is sad, but the difference is it's one of those of killing an animal in order to survive and continue to prosper, rather than kind of like killing an animal for like at a farm just to make food for others and make a profit. This one's kind of more like natural for me, but still, it's always is different seeing like there's blood on there. There's an animal, so probably something from the water they just harvested, so maybe fish or maybe something larger than that. Let's see. What else do you notice? You can see mountains are going right to the water, so it's not like flat land that they're probably building stuff on. This looks like it's just ice. Very cold here. So in other words, humans are also able to modify or change their environment. Use modification that can be helpful or can cause damage to the environment. So sometimes there's some ways it's good and ways that is bad. So look at this. Those not the Twin Cities. Does this look familiar, like a urban area here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is an urban area where there's a lot of houses and yards. How have humans modified the land here? How have we changed the land? It's a new list. Otis?
We built roads all over the place.
Roads. We built roads all over the place. Some roads here. Jakari, what do you see here? How have we changed the environment?
you change it?
Yeah, how humans change the environment.
Like the trees?
Planted trees, yeah. So maybe it was prairie before, we planted some trees here.
Yeah, houses.
We built houses, houses, trees, we already said roads. Jackson?
Built, a school.
Maybe it looks like a school is right here.
Yeah.
What else? Well, Sean,
In the way background, you can see a city that they built.
see a city in the background. Yes, that does not occur naturally. You would have to build that. So giant skyscrapers. Anything else? Haley, one more thing that you notice. How have humans changed the environment? Roads, houses, trees, schools. Anything else you can see in here? What could be man-made in here? Anything else? What changed the environment there?
Cars.
Some cars. Maybe there's some cars here that we can stagger something. But now, how might this impact the land? Was the land like this 100 years ago? Yes or no?
No,
Probably not 100 years ago.
that was probably like planes and the cars are probably like adding like smoke, like carbon and stuff.
Or it could be the smoke and carbon. The land itself probably didn't have all these houses, roads. There were probably trees, but naturally there, not planted by humans.
Yeah,
Probably just schools.
probably more of like an animal environment 100 years ago. So,
Yeah. More natural, more animal environment. Probably weren't as many people and more animals there.
yeah.
A lot of modifications for this. Here's my neighborhood. How have humans modified this land? I'll show you a little video here. I'm gonna make sure you can actually see this right now. How have humans modified this land? I took this from the roof of my house. This was in late fall last year, so about a year ago. And it was when I was putting up like the lights or the holiday lights on my house. So I was like, I'm gonna take a video of this. But this is behind my house.
Looks like a new neighborhood.
It's what?
A new neighborhood.
It is a brand new neighborhood.
Looks familiar.
It's a brand new neighborhood.
It's like you're building like a path or some sort. Like,
They are
yeah, right there.
like right there.
Yeah,
You can see they're building a road. They're building a road right here. And then all of these areas, like this is a year ago, like there's now houses all along here and here. But they've also made man-made water drainage, so there's kind of like a pond, a man-made pond, not a natural pond is right here. But you can't see it like the very end, it's a straight line, there's a path along there, a walking path. They have quite a few modifications to their land in that area. And all of it, here you can see it at the end, all the land. Here, I'm just gonna play it in positive. All of this land that where my yard is and these used to just look like this open field, like way off in the distance. Or some of it looks like here, like this is a farm back here, or the land of a farm. So things have changed a lot in some recent years, especially this year. Like it does not look like this anymore. It 100% looks like another neighborhood is there. So it's a new neighborhood. It's not around here. Cottage Grove. So it's a little further away. But think about this. How have humans modified this land? What are some changes we've done here? New voices. No one raising hand. Those claws. Alina,
That's okay.
they what?
Planted.
They planted things. Yeah. Like it's not naturally going to be I don't know, corn and hay. They planted things to be there. What do you got? Dana, what can you add to this?
There's like crops.
There's crops, yeah, like farmland, so crops are being raised here. What else can we get? Elijah, what else is up here?
The tractor for the crops.
There's a tractor for the
Yeah.
crops. Yeah. Someone's probably driving that and someone's changing the land itself. There's probably either harvesting or planting some sort of crop and naturally just won't do that. Josh, one more thing.
But they made it in rows.
Yeah, they made it in rows. You can tell it's man-made because it's so organized and like mathematical and algebraic. So, yeah, those are some modifications, and it's impacted land of they're harvesting a lot of stuff and reusing that land every year to plant new crops and new goods all the time. What about this? How has this land been modified? What is that? That looks like a what?
Beaver dam.
Beaver dam. Yeah. So when you think about it too, are humans the only ones that modify land?
No.
No. Other animals will modify land to their needs, like beaver dams, as you can tell. Beaver dams will modify the land a whole bunch. Any other way, large or small, other animals might modify the land. Can you think of any? What? Is it like birds? Birds can modify the land. In what ways?
Nests.
Yeah, creating nests. So even on a small scale, like these are large sticks that can hold water, even like tiny little twigs. They're gonna be picked up rather than being falling on the ground or something. And then they'll go into a nest, possibly. Loki? What's that? Bees. Ooh, bees are huge, though you don't necessarily see it. Bees are a huge impact to the land because bees do what? Starts with B. They pollinate. They basically spread and help more and more flowers or different types of greenery, shrubs grow because they pollinate. There's an answer back here. What is it? Is it pets? Ants. Same thing. Ants do the same thing as well, where they're more underground, but they'll change things. But they also, it's like, you ever notice, like, you don't like seeing it, but like, maybe like a little dead animal or something that got like ran over or whatever. Ants are usually there pretty soon, or even just spilled food, and they're just picking it up, gathering it, and then they're just gonna take it to wherever their nest is and use that for food. But it does kind of like clean that area up, and ants will basically just like, it's like recycling the waste of whatever other animal is. Those are some ideas. One that I came up with is very small, but I came up with it yesterday when I was looking at my yard. Animals, like my puppies, they like to dig. So it's a small scale, but they'll dig holes in my yard, which I don't like. I'm trying to train them not to do that. And so back in the video, that's before dogs, so he was kind of a green lawn. Now there's like yellow patches, and then there's a couple dirt patches where they dug. So they'll change things too. But yes, like beaver is one example for that. So I want us to see how humans have changed the land using Google Earth. There's a new feature that I added this last year where they do a time lapse in various places of like the last 35 years. I want to do a couple examples with everybody because here's the thing. We do this and we might not have an assignment. So I was like, I put together an assignment. I was like, this doesn't seem as like enjoyable as just like experiencing it. So you don't open this yet, Jackson. Don't open this. But let's look at a couple together here. So for example, you just go to Google Earth and you can type in certain locations. And all you do, if you ever want to look at this, is Google Earth Voyager. You have to click Google Earth Voyager. I think they have a link. I think they have a link in Schoology. If not, I will double check that there is a link in Schoology. Not. Google Earth Voyager. Let's do a couple here together, check things out. So on here you can see all these different things. Maybe if you want to look at great heights around the world, sea level rises, so they'll might show you changes in sea level over the course of time. Oh, I just clicked on it. I thought I was going to do something else. Let's do this. This is not planned, but let's check this out. Sea level rise. It's kind of cool. I'm just going to show the rising sea level here. That's going to play. Usually it's with playing. Give me a second. Oh, this is what places are going to look like if the water rises 4 degrees Celsius, so it's about 8 degrees. Just looks like London. What's London look like? Is that water in the roads? Looks like water's in the roads. Oh, here we go on the top right. A little flood, kind of like that. A major flood right there. 2 degrees, you don't notice as much. Oh, same. You can see the road. 4 degrees, it looks flood. This is new. I did not plan this. What would New York look like? It's just 2 degrees warmer. Some of that's flooded over here, you can tell. It's 4 degrees warmer.
Oh,
A lot more than that's not good. Okay, that was not planned. I just accidentally clicked that link.
They died.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen. But let's check out some areas. Does anyone recognize this? It's Woodbury. Anyone recognize where this is in Woodbury?
No.
No?
by the
Sure.
high school?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm sure.
This is Interstate
Oh,
94.
is that by the Coles?
I don't know where the Kohl's is.
By the
Anyone know where
Kohl's.
that Dick's Sporting Goods is?
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's the back of it. So
Oh, yeah,
Home Depot is about here or here. Home Depot is one of those. I know. There's that little circle. This is Tamarack. You guys know that Tamarack?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there we go. Now we got some people. Anyone live in the houses near?
No.
There's like
These
Go
are-
to Woodbury.
Woodbury. Let's see what I can see.
You should go to,
Cabela's. Here's that Cabela's right there.
you should go to the Red Lobster, Mr. Jones.
Okay, but anyway, check this out. So I was able to find this on Google Earth, and I was like, here's how it actually is impacting all of you. So, I'm gonna pause it. Oh, no, I'm not going to pause it. Playing right now. So last time it was taken was, boom, right there. So 2020, this is what it looks like right now. So you can see, oh, never mind, I guess playing on something. So 1984. This is 10 years before I was born. So this is 38 years ago. So 38 years ago, look at this. Maplewood, Oakdale, Woodbury, South St. Paul, Newport, St. Paul's over here. Let's see how things have changed. So I'm gonna press play, and then we're gonna check out how things have changed here in Woodbury. Check this out. It's playing. Here we go. Look at this. Every year by year, what is changing?
The land
The land
and some water too.
and some water. There you go. Look at that. So that's Woodbury. Come on, go back to that. So the land is changing. What are they building?
Houses.
Yeah, they're building houses. I'm sorry if you're in the back and can't see that. I apologize. But they're building more and more houses in this area. Hence why they're adding more and more schools, where it used to be like 40 plus years ago, if you didn't go to school, like maybe let's do over 50 years ago, before Tartan was a school, you would either go to North St. Paul, which isn't on this map, or next closest school was Cottage Grove, Park of Cottage Grove. So there's quite a bit of distance. And suddenly Woodbury grew. They built a Woodbury High School. They built Tartan High School within the last 50 years. Now Woodbury even has Eastridge, and they're going to make another school as well, just so everyone knows. My house somewhere down here. It's not even on that map. It's like hasn't even changed, but that's going to be the next thing to change. They're going to connect Woodbury to Cottage Grove, so all of this here will pretty soon probably be cities and stuff. But that's one time last year for it. But we're not the only place where this happened to. You know Vegas?
No.
Someone been to Vegas? Okay. With Vegas, within the last 30 years, it is one of the fastest growing cities. It used to be very tiny compared to what it is now. Check this out. Let me play. Let's do it two-dimensional so you can think directly north-south. Here's how it's changed. Sorry, that's also got to load. Here's how it's changed since 1985. Look at that. Look at what's happening to it. boom, 2020. And now it goes back in time all the way to the beginning. It looks like it tripled in size for the main part, rather than just the main, just like Vegas Strip right here. Goes all the way up here northwest and spreads all southeast. Here's something else to look at. It's in the news. Look at the lake here on the right. Watch this lake here.
Shrinking,
See what's happening to the lake.
shrinking.
For it. Look at that right there. See it? It's getting smaller and smaller. They're saying in the news like this is a current event. This is a current event. Foreshadowing that you can do in the next couple weeks. Foreshadowing. Lake Powell is shrinking, and they're hitting record lows for the water levels because of how much water is being used by humans. And the Hoover Dam is what's blocking it. Hoover Dam's down here blocking it. No, I think really hard. I'll just zoom in. But anyway, it's gotten here some like interesting stuff. Like they found like old boats, of course, and that have sunk. Some of them have had treasure, but they're finding like dead bodies in the news because the water levels have gotten so low. There's like dead bodies from like 30, 40 years ago, and they're starting to solve some like old school murders and murder mystery things because the water level is so low that the bodies are now being able to be found. Creepy, but kind of cool. I'll do one more here with you. United Arab Emirates. Anyone ever seen this before?
Yeah.
UAE.
That looks really cool.
So here it is now. So you can see they have all these little like islands. These are man-made islands, of course. So here's what it looked like 30 years ago. And you can see it growing. Oh, they're starting to make some of these islands. Oh, it's completely changed. Again. See it growing, changing. Here's what I would like you to do. Do you want an assignment or do you want to just kind of adventure a little bit? Okay, so I would like all of you to do this. Pause before you do anything. When you go to Schoology, I have both. I have two things. I have the notes, the slides linked up here, and I have the Google Earth Voyager link. Click on either of them. If you go, just click on this link. Yeah, it will look. If you go to the slides, I have like the last 15 slides of different changes. Check them out. Look at them. If you go to Google Earth Voyager, the Voyager. This Google Earth Voyager on correctly. But open up your laptop and then just check out. Hopefully that works. You can cancel this out. Just check out some of the features, some of the changes. Look through a few for a few minutes here on your laptops. See if you can find something cool. If you are like, hey, I found something cool that's changed, let me know. I'll pull it up on here. I can even go through a couple. So here's the thing. In the past, we did like a 3-day work project where you then present in front of the class. So we're just gonna do this here. So go check use about 10 minutes, look through this. And here's the only thing I would recommend. Look at your PED and paying countries as well. Just search them when you can search bar. See if you can find some changes in those ones as well. I want you to try to explore. See if you find something. If you're like, hey, this is cool, Mr. Jones, let's check this out, I will absolutely search it up here for you too. But I'll look through a couple of them. Like, here's an example. Does anybody here have the Netherlands? Lee's got the Netherlands. Check this out. Time lapse in Google. So you click that. And then on the right side, it says search the planet. So you can either look at any of these 5, and it's going to give you categories. So check this out. Any of these 5, so like changing forests. Click on changing forests. And then you'll see this first one is soybean farming in Bolivia. And they're going to show you the changes here. Check this out. So here's how it's changed for soybean farming. Cut down the trees, get rid of that. That. Now it just looks like soybean farms. But if you're doing that, click the arrow on the bottom right, and it'll get you to another location here. Like now it's cattle ranching for cows. Cattle ranching in Bolivia. Or go to the next one. But otherwise, like I said, palm oil. This is another big one. Palm oil is huge in Indonesia. You can see how some of these have changed. Cutting trees. Look at that. They're getting rid of all that forest. Just for palm oil. See it on the scale here. Showing you how much it's everything. Otherwise, you can also do these search bars. So search your country. So I did like Netherlands. Netherlands, country in Europe. This one's gonna be kind of cool because we did a project on this in the past. It's not going to the Netherlands. I'm gonna have to get to the Netherlands.
There's a fly in here, Mr. Jones.
What was that?
There's a fly in here. It's in the environment.
Maybe it is. Okay, check this out. Here's the Netherlands. Can't zoom in enough here. Why do my phone noise? You are loading. Oh, yeah. Now go to it. I can't find it. It's not showing up. What the Netherlands is doing is they're adding land. Like they're quite literally taking dirt and stuff and putting it by the ocean. And they're like building land out. I
Damn.
can't find where it's going on. Because that's why, like, they say if like, oh, the water rises a whole bunch. Netherlands is gonna be one of those countries that's super flat, so it would probably let a lot of places. But they're building land. You can kind of see it along here, along Amsterdam. I think that's kind of cool. Anybody find anything cool that has changed over the last 20 years, 30 years?
Could you just write down my, because I was doing assignment yesterday.
Yeah.
But I forgot how to do it.
Didn't work.
I just,
Central, that'll be your key, right?
yeah,
You don't have your other one?
or no, I have my other one, I need that.
So you need a central app on the public.
Yeah.
So that and your way.
Yep.
Has anyone found anything cool yet or no?
No.
No?
Maybe besides like more buildings and stuff.
But here's one of the environment taking back stuff. The environment feeding humans. Oh, sorry. Where in Russia, they used to have a whole bunch of farms, especially when they're like very, very communist. And it's like, you need to have a farm in order to live here. And now, people stop farming and the forests are taking over the land again. Check this out. Hold on. Pixelated. You can see it becomes more and more forests in this area as to take over what used to be farming. There used to be a lot of farms, ever so slowly, and less and less farms. Anybody else find any cool ones? Or no? No? Are you all on time lapse in Google?
Maybe.
If you're not, just type in, all you have to type in is Google Earth Voyager. Google Earth Voyager. Voyager Earth. You can find all these different things around it, like a changing forest, a source of energy too. And I do have stuff in these slides for everybody to check out too, like fracking. Does anyone know what fracking is?
No.
It's a way to like get and extract oil. They found like in the last couple decades, they found oil in North Dakota. So they are fracking. Oh no. Check out how it is. So here's North Dakota as it gets unpixelated. You can start to see more and more towns and cities, little towns, taking up the edges here. So all these spots are where they are fracking and trying to get oil. The last 20 years. If you click on these links on the slides too, you can also just go like click left or click right on the arrows. So it's like coal mining in China. like here in China, things have changed from human to veterinary interaction. But there's now more land being dug. Just for a reference of size, like of how giant these holes are right here, where they're digging. Look at this. It's taking up land.
That's a lot.
So like a reference for size, like these are the ones where they're using the giant trucks, where it's like, these are like those mega trucks that can't even like drive on a road, where like a tiny person's like right in there. And like the person is much smaller than what this looks like. And you can see all these trucks in that mine that's being dug right here. Or another one, hilltoppers. You ever heard of the nickname a mountaintop or hilltop? They're removing the tops of mountains. But here's mountain toppers. They're quite literally getting rid of the tops of certain mountains in West Virginia. But you have 2 minutes left. I'll let you do what you want. Look whatever you want to do as well. But I hope you kind of understand how humans are changing the environment and how the environment is also changing how humans are living too. And no homework. I'm going to delete the assignment.
Yay!
Because I don't want to give you more work, right?
Yeah.
No?
Mr. Jones is the coolest teacher.
Unless you're Jace. Jace, you want more homework, right? No?
These are so cool. Yeah, it was
Yes. This is a no gritty territory. No gritty zone.